Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm doing something a little different than what I typically post on this channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I budget and how I utilize the cash envelope system inspired by Dave Ramsey to help get out of debt. If this is something that you're interested in seeing, then please continue to keep on watching. For those of you who don't know who Dave Ramsey is, he's actually a famous businessman and author. He even has his own radio show, which you can find here on YouTube. And if you would like to know more detail about him, then go ahead and do your own research, because I'm really not trying to give a whole biography about his life right now. But what I do want to share with you about him is his 7 baby steps to getting out of debt, saving money, and ultimately to build wealth. And those baby steps are as follows. Number 1 is to save $1,000 starter emergency fund, Number 2 is to pay off all consumer debt, not including your house. Number 3 is to fully fund your emergency fund with 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Number 4 is to increase your retirement contribution up to 15% of your household income. Number 5 is to save for your child's college fund. Number 6 is to pay off your mortgage early. And then number 7 is to build wealth and give. Now, I just finished baby step number 2, which is so exciting. I just paid off my remaining debt last month, and let me tell you guys, it's such an amazing feeling to know that from now on, I get to decide where all my money goes. I don't have to waste a good portion of my paycheck anymore on needing to use it to pay credit card companies back. It truly is a waste of money in my opinion, and I can't believe I let myself be in debt for as long as I was. There really was no reason for it. I was just being terrible about paying off my credit cards, and I kept paying the minimum balances, which was bad because I allowed my balances to accrue and grow into thousands of dollars of debt. But ever since I started following Dave Ramsey's baby steps, I've been able to pay off my $4,000 worth of debt since January of this year, 2020. So in 4 months, I was able to pay off $4,000, and that's amazing. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to show you guys how I budget, so that hopefully if you're trying to start your debt-free journey, that this can help you in some sort of way to get there. Now that you guys have the general knowledge of the plan that I'm following, let's get into how I budget. So my personal preference is to use a planner or notebook to track my bills and expenses. There's just something about putting pen to paper that feels right for me, so I prefer this method. But if you want to use an Excel spreadsheet, then feel free. Do whatever works for you. Alright, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit just to give you guys a closer view of what I'm writing down. So to start off, I always list out my bills and fixed expenses and attend to those first. Alright, to begin, I'm going to go ahead and write down the total income that I made this past month. And that was $2,069. I usually don't account for the change. I just round it to the nearest whole dollar. So that's $2,069 that I have to budget over the month. I do get paid only once a month, so all of these values that you're going to see throughout this video, it reflects what I'm budgeting for the whole month. Okay, so to begin, I have my rent, and rent is actually only $200. And the reason why it's so low is because I actually do still live with my parents, so I only pay them a small portion of rent. So I'm very fortunate that I don't have a high rent or mortgage right now. So that actually saves me a lot of money. All right, so the next item on my list is my cell phone bill. So I pay my mom $60 a month. Next on the list is my Chase Freedom credit card, which I'm actually allocating $13 this month. I am out of debt technically, but unfortunately there were some interest fees that ended up hitting my account after I paid off my entire balance, and that was like $12 and something cents. So I'm going to go ahead and just round up, and we're going to give that $13, and that should completely bring my balance down to 0. Next we have is Discover, and Discover, I actually just paid that off last month, so I don't owe that anything. Next thing that I have is my 24 Hours Fitness membership, which is $32. Next, I have my CalFit membership, which is another gym membership. Yes, I have 2. It's stupid, but you know, I signed up for both. So we're just gonna go ahead and roll with it. I'm almost done paying that off anyway, so I'll end up having one membership at some point. CalFit gets $94. Next thing on the list is going to be iTunes, and that's $1. I do have a Six Flags season pass as well, and I pay, let's see, it's 19 something, but again, I just rounded up, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that $20. And then the last thing on my list, which is actually new this month because I just got a puppy. Her name is Harley, and I'm very happy to have her. So because she is just a puppy and she needs all her shots and all that, I ended up getting a wellness plan with the Banfield Hospital that's located in PetSmart. And that's actually a monthly fee of $74, which is actually quite a bit. I think their base membership or wellness plan is like maybe about $40 if I'm thinking correctly. However, I did add on additional services that you technically don't need, but I wanted her to be fully covered, and I can afford that, especially now that I'm out of debt. So I went ahead and chose basically the wellness plan that was the most expensive, and that ends up being $74 a month. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I did allocate a little bit more to that. Let me check my spreadsheet. Yeah, so I actually allocated a little bit more because I know on my next visit for her, she's going to end up coming home with a prescription. And I think that is money out of pocket, but I'm not really sure if it is. I can't remember, but I wanted to be safe. So I ended up upping that number to $115. I apologize, you guys. I actually went out of frame for the rest of these values that I inputted. So I just want to quickly go over what I did. What I did right here is I ended up totaling my values that I had in my monthly bills section, and that brought me to a total of $535. And then for the remaining, what this is basically my total here deducted from my total income, which brought me to $1,534 that I have remaining for the month to allocate towards my other variable expenses. And those variable expenses are listed right here. And these are actually what I use my cash envelopes for. So the first one that I have on the list is personal care. So this includes items such as like shampoo, body wash, razors, hygienic items. Anything to take care of myself basically is what will come out of this envelope. And I am allocating $40 this month. The next thing is entertainment, which is also getting $40. And with the whole COVID-19 and stay at home in place, I doubt I'm even going to be using any of this money, but I did want to put some in there just in case. And the next thing I usually have is wax and nails. And again, because of the whole COVID-19, wax and nail salons, places like that are actually non-essential. So they're not open right now, at least none that I know of in my area. So that's going to get $0 this month. Next thing is miscellaneous, which I am allocating $50. And that might be a lot to some people. However, for me, again, I am budgeting over the whole course of the month. And sometimes things pop up along the way that we might not account for ahead of time. I just want to be safe, and I'm designating $50 for myself in case anything happens. And then lastly, I have food, which of course is essential. So we want to designate some money into that envelope. And this is actually going to be $200. And I went ahead and totaled all those items up for just this category right here. And that came out to $330. And then I deducted this number from the remaining balance we had up here under monthly bills. And that brought me to $1,204 remaining for the month. Now, if you were strictly sticking to Dave Ramsey's rules, next, what you would have to do is basically throw any remaining debt that you have for the rest of the paycheck to your debt. I should have probably mentioned to you guys earlier that if you guys have multiple sources of debt that you guys owe, Dave Ramsey really recommends the debt snowball effect method to paying off debt. To basically where you would basically pay all of the minimum balances on your credit card except for the lowest balance credit card that you have, and you would want to throw all of the money that you have available to that smaller credit card to pay off your credit card faster. Unfortunately, I couldn't really demonstrate that to you guys in this video because I am already out of debt. I only had that remaining $13 in my Freedom account. but that is something to keep in mind. So basically, the remaining balance that you would have to pay towards your debt would just add to that debt snowball to help you pay off debt faster. I know that's not possible or feasible for everybody, so please feel free to modify his plan as needed to better suit your needs and your specific situation. I'm only telling you what Dave Ramsey advises, and if I'm being honest, there is something that I've incorporated during this whole debt-free journey of mine, which goes outside of his plan, and that would actually be my sinking funds, which I'm going to show you right now. All right, so if you don't know what sinking funds are, you can think of them as mini savings accounts for things that you know are coming up and that will need to be paid for. One of the common examples are car tags. You know you need to pay that once a year, so you would create a sinking fund for that specific category and put money away every paycheck to prepare for it. And this way it prevents it from sneaking up on you and needing to use your credit card if you didn't have money already set aside to pay for it. I hope that makes sense. If not, there are plenty of sinking fund videos out there that could probably better explain it. But sinking funds are personal and will vary from person to person. And these are my sinking funds right here. Right, so the first one that I have is Disney World. So unfortunately, Disney World is going to be put on hold. I was actually supposed to be there this week, which sucks because I wish I was there rather than here at home. But again, the COVID-19 kind of closed everything down and everything got pushed back trip-wise. So Disney World is probably not even going to happen anytime soon, probably not even until 2021. So I'm going to have to go ahead and change that. So let me go ahead and just wipe this out. And I'm going to write in vacation instead. And this is going to get $100 because I'm actually going to be going somewhere with my parents once everything opens back up. Hopefully, if that one doesn't get canceled yet, it's in late July. So I'm hoping everything will be calmed down by then. So I do owe my mom $100 because that covers the flight that she paid for. And the next thing on the list is going to be doctor and dentist. And this is basically co-pays for whenever I go into the offices. And this month, I'm actually going to be allocating $80, which is quite a bit, I'm not going to lie. But I do plan on getting new frames or contacts next month in June. And I know I'm going to end up paying a lot out of pocket because I typically always do. So I want to prepare for that. Next one is makeup. That's getting $40. Hair. Again, I'm not going to be getting that done anytime soon because, again, all the salons are closed. But I am going to need a touch-up very soon, so that's going to require quite a bit of money. So that's going to end up getting $60 to prepare for when they open up again. I'm going to make sure I schedule an appointment as soon as possible. Now, school is going to get the most. That's going to get $240. And that's because I'm going to have to pay for when I register for classes. I'm going to have to pay for that out of pocket. Clothes is going to get $40 as well. I'm trying to build up that envelope so when everything reopens, I can buy myself a whole new wardrobe for summer. That's the goal. I do have a Christmas sinking fund as well because, let's be real, Christmas typically wipes out everybody during the winter season. So I don't want to end up in debt again because I'm right there swiping my credit cards to buy everybody gifts. So I'm already trying to prepare for that, and I am going to allocate $20 this month to that envelope. And the last thing on the list is, again, Harley. She is my puppy, so I want to make sure I have money dedicated to her every month. I believe $50. Let's just double check. Yep, $50. $50. And let's go ahead and total all of those up. So that's going to be $630. And that's going to leave me with the remaining balance of $574 for the month. All right, so if I was in debt, this is going to be the balance that I would actually throw at my debt, which is what I've done in the past. However, since I am now out of debt, this is actually going to go towards baby step number 3, which is fully funding my emergency fund for 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So this is going to go towards there. And I did make myself a little section right here where it's goals for the remaining funds of the month. And I just like to write it down. I already know where my money is going, but I just like to write it down just because. Let's see here. So we are going to write $574 towards emergency fund. And that's my goal for my remaining funds, and that's actually going to already be a good boost to my emergency fund. So I should push through baby step number 3 fairly quickly, especially since my expenses for the months are actually not that high anymore now that I'm out of debt. And that's why you want to get out of debt first, because the quicker that you pay off debt, the faster and more efficient you can actually save in the long run. All right, so that's basically how I set up my budget. Now let's move on to the fun part of the video, which is actually my favorite part about budgeting, and that's going to be stuffing our cash envelopes and sinking funds. Okay, so I have my wallet here, and before we actually begin stuffing our envelopes, I do want to let you know that the only categories I actually use cash envelopes for are for my variable expenses, which is the cash envelopes category as you see here, and my sinking funds on the back page. As for my bills and fixed expenses, I go ahead and just leave that money in my account because it's easier for me to pay off these items automatically and through my account versus paying them in cash. So that's my preference. To each their own in this case. If you guys want to pull money out for your bills, feel free to do that. Some people do. However, my preference is just to keep it in my account so it can all automatically deduct and come from that specific account. The only item that's actually listed under cash envelopes right here that doesn't get taken out in cash is going to be the food. So I'm going to highlight that just so you guys know. Oops, that was actually pretty bad. Oh, that's going to bother me. Now, the reason why I don't take out money for the food category and place it into its own envelope is just because to me it really is easier just to swipe my card for the food. I'm pretty good about never going over my balance on the food, so I trust having my money in my card and swiping it that way versus pulling out cash and then having to break the bills and getting a whole bunch of change for it, and the change just starts building in my wallet, and I don't like that. And then this month also, just a heads up, I will also not be taking out the money for the vacation. And the reason for that is because this money is going to go towards my mom this month instead of an envelope. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward with the cash envelope stuffing. All right, so these are the envelopes that I keep in my wallet, and it's these cash envelopes right here. And I'm just going to lay out my bills. And the rest of these are going to be 20s. I like to use bigger bills. I know a lot of people like to break theirs down into smaller bills, but it doesn't really work for me like that. I just think it's easier this way. First thing that we have on the list is personal care, and that's getting $40. And then we have entertainment, which is also getting $40. And then we have our wax and nails envelope, but again, that's getting $0 this month, so I'm just going to put this one aside. And miscellaneous is getting $50. And for the 10, I'm going to use the 2 5s. So 20, 40, 45, 50. Food is going to go ahead and stay in my bank account. There is no actual envelope for that one. So I'm going to put these ones back in my wallet. For my sinking funds, I actually keep those in this little purple journal right here. And this is what it looks like. I keep it organized by putting the trackers into clear plastic pouches that look like this, and then the corresponding envelope right behind it. So this right here is going to be my Disney World tracker. And right here is where I'll keep track of the balances in the envelope. So whenever I put money in, and of course, whenever I take money out, that will all be tracked on this little activity log tracker that I have right there. And then I would just put the money back in the envelope here. And as you can see, there's money already in there. However, this month, again, it's not going to be getting anything. So next one that we have is our Dr. Dentist envelope, which is going to get $80 this month. So I'm going to take out the tracker and I'm going to log that amount that's going to be deposited into the envelope. And today is the 5th and I am depositing $80. And that should bring our total balance to $120. So I actually did mess up right there. I wrote $120 initially, not really thinking, but the correct balance should be $150. So I'm going to take 20, 40, 60, $80. And I'm going to place that in the envelope. And that should be $150 total. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 45, 50. $150 in the Dr. Dentist sinking fund, which is exactly where we want to be. And I'm going to put the tracker back in the pouch. Okay, there. So makeup is going to get $40. And I currently have $12 in that envelope right now. So it's May 5th and I am depositing $40. And that's going to bring my total to $52. Let me just stick that one right back in there right away. And then $20, $40 will go in the envelope. So I have 20, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, $52. Next one we have is hair, which is getting $60. So 60 plus 100 is 160. 20, 40, 60. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 40, $60. 160. And then school. Oh, so school is actually another one that's not coming out in cash this month. It typically always does because obviously we have a tracker and an envelope for it. This is the envelope right here. It says back to school. This is actually my favorite one. It's super cute. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that right here. Oops. And that's to show that money did not get withdrawn for this pay period. And the reason why is because school dues are going to be coming up very soon. So I just rather have that money in my account instead of taking it out just to put it back in. I actually have to put that money in that's in this envelope into my account soon. Not right away, but it is going to be coming up. So I'm going to have to deposit this eventually because I have to pay online and I can't do that with cash. So school is staying in my account this month. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is clothes. And for clothes, we have $40 allocated to this envelope. And that brings our total from $80 to $120. Oops. There we go. 20, 40. Let's see. Oops, I am a mess right now. Sorry, guys. All right, so we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. And then Christmas gets 20. And that should bring us to $60 total. So just $20 actually will go in here. And there should be $40, which there is, so that makes $60. And then I do have an emergency fund envelope right here. I do have my $1,000 that I saved up in baby step number 1. And it's right here. I do keep that out in cash. However, since I am moving on to baby step number 3, where I have to fully fund my emergency fund for a few months, or for a few months worth, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this back into my account and just start accruing that fund in my bank account just to keep it safe, and that way I don't have too much money laying around the house. But that's my emergency fund, and this is what it looks like. It's some umbrellas, basically saving for a rainy day. That's kind of where this envelope came from, was that phrase. The last one I have in here actually currently is a savings, which technically isn't a savings. I mean, I guess it is. It wasn't meant to be. But typically at the very end of the month, I do a check-in of my budget to see how much I actually spent versus what I budgeted. And if there's any money remaining in my cash envelopes actually that I keep in my wallet, like in my entertainment fund, for example, if there's any money left over in that envelope, that'll just go into this envelope here. And eventually what I was trying to use this money for is to pay off debt, or to contribute towards my debt snowball. But since it's already paid off, I can actually contribute this towards my emergency fund. I just haven't put it in my bank account yet. And then the last sinking fund that I have on my list that's not in here yet is my envelope for Harley, which is my puppy. And I do have the scrapbook paper that I want to use for her. I just haven't had the chance to make it yet, but I did want to get this video out before then. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in other clear plastic pouch in here with the tracker. The tracker is made. I just have to write her name on it. Just Harley. Oh, and then I'm going to write the date. And then I am starting her off with $50 for a total of $50. And I'm actually going to put it before the emergency fund and after Christmas. I may need to get a bigger journal. It'll work for now, but if I keep adding more sinking funds at some point, I'm gonna need to get a new one because this is already pushing how much can fit in here. All right. And she's gonna get $50, so 20, 40, $50. And since I don't have the envelope for it yet, I'm just going to actually put it in this pouch right here until I make the envelope. So that's basically it for my sinking funds. All right, everyone. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys on how I budget and how I've utilized the cash envelope stuffing system to help me stay on track and getting out of debt. I really hope this video was helpful. If you're taking something out of this video, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up to help this video out. And I'm not going to tell you to subscribe because let's be real, I don't post on this channel very often. But I do want to thank you all so much for tuning in, and I wish you all the best in your debt-free journey. Bye, guys.